My name is Sandra. I have 4 kids. The day that everything kind of changed was I was 17 weeks. I got up and I just had a gush and I'm like, whoa, what is that? I went to the doctor. The doctor came in and she's like, your water broke. So once I hit 22 weeks, then I could go into the antepartum at Seton, Maine. What really took it was I started bleeding. I got admitted. They gave me a first round of steroid shots to try to help the baby's lungs develop. So at 23 weeks and 2 days, she came. I had a C-section. They had to cut deeper to get her since she was so little.
My name is Dr. Alan Groves. I'm a neonatologist at Ascension Seton Medical Center. So a baby like Elara, who was born at 23 weeks, so 17 weeks early, 535 grams, 1 pound and 3 ounces, I think, is right at the extreme of the possibility to survive, but only if everything and everybody gets everything just right.
She was so tiny. I'd never seen a baby that small. She was like probably the size of my hand. The doctors told me that it was a 50% chance that she was going to survive. The NICU it's a day by day, you live day by day. It was really hard. Every day you see different parents and seeing some babies leave and you're still there, hearing the monitors beeping and wondering if that's your child. It's scary.
These children are so vulnerable. They're in such an intricate situation, and we have to make these tiny adjustments with our thumb to keep them balanced. And every minute of every day feels like we're doing that on the neonatal unit. In the very first weeks after babies are born, we feel clear that we need to give them the most gentle treatment possible. But once the lungs are a few weeks old, we have to completely reverse that practice and give a much higher pressure, a much more invasive strategy to keep the lungs open. So we call that now switching from a protective to a supportive model. And one of the key things I really remember doing for Elara is being in the room and making the decision, okay, today's the day we make the switch. Today's the day we have to say for Elara, we can't go with this old school model anymore. We need to use this new model of breathing support. And we switched all of her ventilator settings, and her response was just extraordinary. She got so much better so quickly.
Dr. Groves, him taking her off of the ventilator and trying her on the CPAP machine, it just changed everything. Like, I was glad that he, took that chance on her. Doctors like him, they're lifesavers. They take chances, and that sometimes that's all we need is that push. And he did that for her, and she was ready to go. The nurses at Seton were all amazing. They were just very caring, and every time something kind of happened, they were just always there comforting me and, making sure that I was okay. Of course, their main priority was Elara, but also too making me feel like I mattered too.
One of the main words I'll just use to describe Elara is that she's a fighter. She ended up being intubated for 4 months, which is a very long time. There were times that she was on 100% oxygen, and sometimes I'll have to tell parents, like, this is the maximum, you cannot go higher than this. She was on, lots of blood pressure medication, sedation, pretty much everything we can do for her.
Nurse Kendall was in there from the beginning. She was her primary nurse. She's like, this little girl, she can do it. She's like, I know she can. She took very good care of her. Even when she wasn't there, she made sure, like, hey, you're gonna get Elara, and make sure you do this and that. She knew what she liked. She was always in somebody's hands. Yeah, even the volunteers would come in and they would wanna, they're like, where's Elara?
We found out once she was starting to learn how to eat that sometimes premature babies, they will aspirate on some of the food that they are trying to eat by mouth. And so it's safer for them to get what's called a G-tube to eat. So Elara was in the NICU with us for a little over 6 months. Then she had to go to Dell Children's to get that procedure, and she stayed over there for 6 or 7 months as well.
She does have a little speaking valve. It's a little purple thing, and we can kind of put in And when she has that in, she's just like babbling. She's like just talking and, you know, trying to say something. She's trying to walk, she's crawling. She has physical therapy, and so they're kind of teaching her like going up the stairs.
We have such an amazing team on the neonatal unit at Ascension Seton. It was a big draw for me coming down from New York to see the style of work, the commitment, the love, the intelligence. It's an extraordinary group of people. Kendall has just been so involved with this family from day one, is still involved now. At least once a month, she grabs me on the unit and shows me the latest picture or video of Elara. So many of our nursing staff have kept in touch with Sandra. I know when they're going to show me a picture of Elara, because I see the look in their eyes when I see them at the other end of the NICU and they come bounding down the corridor and they reach out with their phone and they show me something that Sandra's just sent them of Elara sitting up the first time. And I see them at home in the right environment where babies are meant to be, and they're sitting up and they're eating some mushed up avocado, and I think, okay, we did it. We got her there. She's an extraordinary child. She's lucky enough to have an extraordinary mother. They were lucky enough to be born into the care of the Ascension Seton system, where we were able to give her a wonderful level of care right from the moment of birth, right to the moment she got home. And all of that packaged together is evidenced by the incredible child you see now.